What is bid strategy learning inside Google Ads, and how do we avoid it as much as possible and speed up the process when we do have it? Well, unfortunately, it isn't something that we can avoid. And as you can see here, we have the bid strategy learning status for this campaign because it is a brand new campaign. And the chances are is that if you're after launching any new Google Ads campaign, is that you're also going to have this bid strategy learning status in your own account. Now, what it is basically when you make a new campaign, you're after selecting, a bunch of different settings, especially things like your bidding strategy. So, depending on whether you've decided to go for maximize clicks or maximize conversions, for example. And when you launch a brand new campaign, Google doesn't have any data on like previous results or anything you've been getting so far. And this is why you have to go into this bid strategy learning status at the very beginning. So what it is that anytime you make a significant change to your Google Ads campaign, especially when it comes to things like your bidding strategy, or even if you make major changes to your daily budget, your maximum cost per click bid limits, your location, your ad schedule, and so on, any major settings that affect your targeting could easily trigger bid strategy learning and basically just send your campaign back into learning mode where performance is going to be slower overall temporarily, and the process usually lasts, roughly about 5 days on average. So it is something that you can't avoid for your campaign. And in general, if you are running a campaign for yourself or you're running a campaign for clients, it would make most sense to tell them that you can't expect to be getting many conversions within the first, 1 week on average until this bid strategy learning phase has passed. And we have seen cases where we've gotten leads even on day one, but typically, you're just not going to see the same amount of budget being spent and the same quality and quantity of leads coming in when you're in this bid strategy learning phase. So it really is just about letting it pass. But we're also just going to quickly walk you through, what you can do to minimize, this phase and make sure it doesn't happen multiple times and just to speed up this process as much as possible. So the first thing that you must do is go into the campaign with a clear goal in mind and have an exact plan of exactly what you want to achieve and how you're going to select your bidding strategy. For example, if you're going to run with maximize clicks at the very beginning, you need to know exactly how long you're going to stick with that bidding strategy for, exactly what you're going to set your maximum cost per click bid limit to, depending on the cost per clicks of your keywords in the keyword planner, as well as all the other major settings like what you're going to set your daily budget to, the locations that you're going to target, your ad schedule, and so on. And what you want to do is that when you have your campaign made and all of these settings selected, you want to be satisfied with that, that you're not going to be making any major changes for at least the first month to your campaign. And as long as you have a clear, plan for the first month, then obviously you could switch, bidding strategies once you've got to a point where you have conversion data and you want to switch things up. But the last thing you want to be doing is going inside the campaign every week and making significant changes. Obviously, you want to make optimizations, especially your search terms report at the very beginning, but that's not going to send your campaign back into learning mode. But making any major changes to your campaign is what's going to do that. So the most important thing is really just not making any major changes to your settings. So you want to let Google gather enough data with what you have in place right now. And what you can also do to, to speed up this phase as much as possible is making sure that you have a significant budget for the locations that you're running your campaign in, depending on the keywords that you're targeting and so on, and also setting your bid for a reasonable amount and being as flexible as you possibly can. Because if you're bidding too aggressively with, for example, target CPA or your maximum cost per click bid limit at the very beginning, you're not going to give Google enough data early on to, optimize and get you enough conversions at the very beginning so that it can actually adjust to your bidding strategy and not take too long to get past the learning phase overall. And for this as well, you also just want to make sure that you have your conversion tracking set up properly. So Google knows exactly what you consider a conversion to be. And as long as you have a decent enough daily budget and maximum cost per click bid limit or target CPA, we'd always recommend, giving yourself enough budget so that you could aim to get one conversion per day. then that's the best thing you can really do to minimize this bid strategy learning phase as much as possible. But obviously, it is unavoidable, and you will go back into this bid strategy learning phase anytime you go and make significant changes to the campaign. But this shouldn't be happening any more than once per month at the very most. So I hope this video helps when it comes to, explaining a bit more about what bid strategy learning means and how to avoid, going back into it over and over again by just simply not making any major changes to your campaign. And if you do have any questions about anything we mentioned or anything related to Google Ads in general, feel free to leave a comment down below. And if you like this Google Ads related content as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And hopefully, we'll see you in the next video.